What's going on, my good people? This your boy Lap Up the Entertainer here to bring you some action between Fairview A&M versus Jackson State University. This is going to be an interesting band battle between both of these bands. I don't think that they have seen each other in a while, so this is going to be interesting to see. Okay, last time I recall, I can't remember any last time Fairview actually went to the SWAC championship. So it wasn't in my time. So if y'all know what time when they last went to the championships or when they ever went to the championship, comment that below. So what I would like to say before we get into the action, I have a major announcement to tell y'all. I have a test coming up very soon. So I know that it's been a lack of content lately, but I will be picking up on that. Not next week, probably the week after that. But I just been trying to take that time to study for my test. Okay, so I just want to let you know I haven't forgot about y'all. I know I'm just posting at least once a week, but I'm just trying to really immerse myself in me getting this test passed. Okay, so that's what I'm doing on my end, okay? But I really appreciate y'all for being patient with me. And shout out to all my new subscribers that subscribe to my channel, okay? Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. For people who click on my video and you subscribe, please like up the video because they help boost the algorithm to help people get a chance to see my content. Also, if you're new to this channel and you watch the majority of this video, please consider subscribing. I'm a victim of it too. Sometimes I just watch the person's content probably 1 or 2 months and just forget to hit the subscribe button. But that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If y'all see this content and y'all like this content, please consider subscribing because it helps me out tremendously. Okay? So, with that being said, I have a grading scale to grade 0 quarter, halftime, and 5th quarter. Okay? So if you want to know what that looks like, please look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. For 0 quarter, we're grading song selection, power, articulation, arrangement, and overall cleanness. Maximum points they can make altogether is 45. And 0 quarter, bands have spirit songs that they play, fight songs, etc. So with this being close to the end of the season, really the end of the season for both bands in the SWAC division, I'm expecting them not to pull anything that's school related. But if they do, that can hurt them. But also, not only that, but if a band plays something for the football team, usually they come out with a certain song that the band plays. That's also considered a spirit song as well. So for people who are confused on that, now y'all know. Alright? So, just want to highlight that, again, I want to let y'all know too, if you're new to this channel, just to let you know, there's no favoritism at all, okay? Some people get butthurt and like, oh man, how come you didn't hear that? Look, I'm going to tell y'all like this in the beginning of this video, and I'm going to tell y'all through a majority of this video. If it doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound good, and if I call you out on it, I call you out on it. Don't get in your feelings about it because I don't want to hear about it in the comments. Because there's nothing but love here, So, with that being said, let's get into the action. Alright, look like Jackson State's going to start this 0 quarter off with us. Whew. pay-per-view.
You haven't listened?
Okay, bring it back then, pay-per-view. Let's say they start off swinging. Alright, so song selections 5, power is 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness is a 10. Now, one thing I would say as far as that too, at the end of that song, not the first time, but the second time, you had some people missing. So you gotta be careful, pay-per-view. You can't just miss because you're trying to crank. You gotta make sure that you stay in pocket. But everything else sounded good though. I appreciate it. I enjoyed that. It's a good way. Now, I didn't grade Jackson's fanfare because it was short. I wanted a little bit more to that. Alright? Now, it'd be different if we was just in the middle of the 0 quarter, but this is the beginning. So, I'm not going to grade that against Jackson. So, we're going to grade Jackson's next response, though. That was pretty dope.
So, JSU, it's on you. Let's see what you got.
JSU, it's on you. Jackson. Jackson. That was crucial. Yeah. That was crucial. That was crucial, Jackson. Look, no complaints on that, man. Yeah, that was like, yeah, take that. That was crucial, ladies and gentlemen. That was super crucial. Alright? Yeah. Alright, moving on.
That's what I'm talking about. So PVAMU, it's back on you.
better grade. All right. So, sound selection, I'm gonna give them a 5. Power, I'm gonna give them a 10. Articulation, I'm gonna give them a 9. Arrangement, I'm gonna give them a 10. Cleanness, I want to give them an 8. Okay. All right. So this is what I give it. All right. Tubas were fighting in that. Okay. They were not clean. They was not hitting those phrases as they could have been. The thing is, when you have split parts with tubas, split part with tubas, if you're not in sync, it's gonna sound bad. All right. Now, one thing I would say also is that you had high brass that was kind of missing as well, and you had some lower brass that was missing in the upper sections as well. So I feel as if when it comes down to the core band, not outside the tubas, but the core band, if you play within your ensemble and not try to outdo your pocket, it's gonna sound good. I feel like that's been one of the standing issues when I've been grading peer review this season is because of that. They've been trying to play outside their pocket. If you just play contained, it's going to sound better. You don't have to project, to try to get what you need to get out. It's a bunch of y'all. It doesn't take that much for y'all to carry, okay? But especially the tubas will hurt y'all the most, okay? There was also some attacking issues as well. So, but they end up getting a 42 on that. Yeah, they got a 42 on that one. All right. So, moving on.
Sounds like we got a storm going on even in the sunshine. Sonic boom.
We're finna bring it back.
finally time.
Alright. Like they finna crank twice on 2 different songs. Alright. Let's get this first song out the way though. Just saying. Just saying. We gotta get that first song out the way. Yeah. There one Super Saiyan in this thing, fam. Ooh, Jackson. I'm gonna tell you the difference and why it sounds good with Jackson versus Perryview. Alright. I'll tell you the difference. It's a size difference. Okay? If somebody was to miss, it can get covered up by the other horn. Or if somebody was to sneak in, it can get covered up. That's the advantage of having a bigger band, because you can cover up a little bit more. Okay? Problem is with Perryview is that they're a smaller band. And they're trying to do certain things, but they can't cover up their mistakes, if that makes sense. But also, that doesn't exclude the tuba solos. You know what I'm saying? The tuba breaks. If that ain't clean, people can still call that out. So, that's the difference. Alright? So people want to know, why are you doing this or why are you saying that? Now you know. Okay? You got to play within the ensemble. If you got a bigger band, you can skate a little bit. But if you got a smaller band, you got to hit. So, just being real, 100 with you. Alright, moving on to their second song. Okay, that was a little fanfare. Nice little fanfare. Moving on. It's an interesting zero. Let's get that a grade. Try not to get too blurry. Alright. So, what I'm going to grade it. Alright, so song selection, I'm going to give them a 5. Powers, 10. Articulation, I'm going to give them a 9. Arrangement, I'm going to give them a 10. Cleanness, I'm going to give them a 9. There was some parts up in there that can be sprucing up just a little bit more. More so tubas, man. Tubas. Y'all not playing within the ensemble. It's like, y'all got these complicated parts, but I don't think y'all tuba section's ready for them. I'm just going to be 100 with you. I just feel as if there's some parts with the tubas that can be way cleaner. Way cleaner. And then when we're not talking about them, we're not talking about the splits. We're talking about just them just hitting it together, playing with tone, Also, when we look at more so the upper lower brass, there was some parts when they were not attacking together as well. So they got a 43 from that. All right. That's not me picking on PVAMU, but you know you want criticism. That's what you're gonna get. All right. Moving on.
All right, Storm, we hear you. Come on, Sonic Boom.
Jackson. Oh man, there was Super Saiyan Blue God in this thing. Okay. Whew. Now I'm gonna say this: they almost didn't get it. They almost didn't get it, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right. There was just one little small part up in there they can slightly fix, but it was okay. It was still passable. Like if the wheels would have fall off the horse after that, then I would have docked them. But it was just one little small part. It was like kind of close to the end, but still good. Still good. Whew. Jackson, I'm putting the work on him right now, fam. Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson. Moving on.
Imagine being able
All right, PVAMU, you got one more in you?
Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. We're not gonna grade Nick, I'm sorry. We're not gonna grade Nick, but this is funny to see though. Whew. Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting good. Alright. This is when I say that it gets chaotic around zero quarter, okay? It's just the chaotic part. But I'm going to say this. I can't grade this fully because Jackson started swallowing them up with that sound. But I'm going to tell y'all this because of big bands can be humble too. But this right here, I think besides that minor mess up in the beginning, that it has to be one of their cleanest songs that they had prior to the beginning. The beginning was kind of shaky in the beginning. They didn't come in all together. So it was weak. But I would say as far as what I could hear for overall, they didn't sound loud or nothing. They actually sound more contained. I would have preferred to hear that more if they would have played it earlier, Because, again, I try to tell people it's not always about power. Because, sometimes people think power is blasting, and blasting is a non-harmonic tone. So you got to make sure that you still play in the pocket. I think that was the cleanest outside the mess up in the beginning from PVAMU. Now, I ain't going to grade this because I couldn't hear the full thing, but you get what I'm getting at. From what I could hear, even though they had that minor shake-up, they still sounded clean in the majority of that I could hear. Alright, Jackson was just having a field day. I'm not even going to grade this for Jackson either. Jackson, boy.
Fans, if you enjoyed the zero quarter, show the Storm and the Boom some love.
If you work in IT,
Pepsi, proud sponsor of the SWAC Class.
This is not most sort of zero. This is getting into the football, but we're going to still grade it now. This is like pregame, not even zero. This is like pregame. brought the smoke with him. You gotta love it. I'm still gonna grade it for him. Oh man, by default, everything sounded good, but by default they got a 4 because it's a spirit song. But everything else was good, so almost a perfect by default. But you know they can always be replaced depending on if they're ahead, and so kind of depends. But yeah, it was still good, still good. Moving on. Fairview next, if they respond. Alrighty. Let's get at a grade. Song selections 5, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness I'm gonna give them a 9. Almost a perfect. There was some parts up in there that can be a little bit cleaner. More so is tone. More so the tone. If they can sound just a little bit cleaner in that department, I think they'd be good. I think they were just kind of missing just a little small parts. Moving on. Alrighty. So, Zero Quarter was very interesting. It was very interesting, man. But you know, it looks a little different. Yeah, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, man, that was a different type of battle, man, but I think we kind of understand who's the strongest in this category right now. But the current standings right now, Jackson State is up by 5 points in 0 quarter. Okay? Count it. Jackson State is up by 5 points. That's a significant difference, okay, in 0 quarter, okay? That's one of those situations that can really break a band, but that can all change in halftime. I'm going to say that again. That can all change in halftime, all right? Now, I'm going to say this, okay, for people, getting their feelings or whatnot, it's nothing but love here, but I got to give it to you raw and uncut when it comes down to this, okay? So, Jackson has some great field shows. This they have, but Prairie View excel on that field. So I wouldn't be surprised if Prairie View try to punch Jackson on the field. I'd be surprised if Prairie View do bad. But usually Prairie View kind of shows out during halftime. Okay, just want to throw that out there. All right. So with that being said, if y'all like this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me that you made it this far into the video. Alright? So with that being said, look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. We're going to be grading entrance, songs, formations, dancers, breakdown, and overall creativity. Maximum points they can make all together with 25. With their creative, they can round it to a possible 30. They have to do something unique or death-defying or diss the other band to get there. Alright? Now, what I would say when it comes down to what I'm looking for as far as expectations, I'm expecting the entrance to look clean. The drum major is going to do a routine in the beginning. I'm expecting it to look clean together. I'm expecting the band to look clean and together. When it comes down to songs, if the band is stationary, I'm expecting the sound quality to sound good. Okay? I think that's one thing to throw out there. I want the sound quality to sound great. Alright. Formations. Looking for symmetry. I'm looking for 8 to 5. I'm looking for step offs. I'm looking for people to bring their legs up. This is y'all considered a marching band, so I'm not expecting anybody to be out there walking. Okay? So just want to throw that out there. Okay? Dancers. I'm expecting their stunts to go well. I'm expecting them to be in sync. Not a tad bit behind, but everything looks together. Alright? So, breakdown, I'm expecting at least 3 breakdown features from both bands. At least 3 breakdown features. Some people be like, oh, well, that don't count, and this is there. Look, this is what I'm grading. Alright? 3 breakdown features from both bands. Okay? That's what I want to see. If they don't give me that, and it don't look clean, and it don't look together, they don't have the energy, I'm going to dock off on it. So, that's just me keeping it dry and uncut. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to shut up. We're going to get into pair views first. All right.
Stop building. PV. Jackson, Mississippi, taking the sweat by storm. Let's turn up the music with the baddest band in the land. Hailing all the way from Prairie View A&M University, the marching storm is taking you down from the Breezy Bowl to Mississippi. It's your boy Big C, presenting your entertainment.
Let's see, Panthers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the sound of Chris Brown, played by the smoothest band in the land, executing every step while showing the others real music. the sauce on the sweat, the Black Foxes.
They got a lot of creative parts, but I feel like it could be way cleaner. Could have been way cleaner.
Now it's time to show the Southwestern Athletic Conference how the Storm really gets down. We are live from Jackson, Mississippi, baby, but we ain't come to sit and sip no tea. It's time to turn up. I want to see if you can run it and wobble up. I want to see you jig like you from the sip. If you're ready to party, PV Nation, let me hear you say, oh yeah! Storm. Let's go. Hey, Tucson, let's go.
Okay, PV. Okay, PV.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Dr. Timothy Zachary, we thank all of our fans for your support. But hold up, the show is not ready done yet. C5, I need you to show the swing what real drum majors look like. And we will see you on the hill.
Alrighty, let's get that a grade. So, whew, I don't think this was the strongest finisher I've seen them do, but we can give a grade. Alright, so entrance is a 5. Songs is a 5. Formations, I'm going to give them a 5. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 3. Breakdown, I'm going to give breakdown a 3. Creativity, I'm going to give them a 5. Okay? I'm going to give you my reasons why. When it came down to the dance features, I just felt like it could have been cleaner. It was some stunts that was going on that kind of looked a little bit, you know, that they need to work on that a little bit. See, the thing is, when you have a lot of people on that field, you know, it's a lot to look at. But, you know, sometimes you can cover up some mistakes, but when people can eyeball some mistakes, you can see it. because especially if you have ripple effects, it just wasn't clean. You know, I mean, I'm not no dance connoisseur or anything like that, but I feel like it could have been way cleaner. You know, as far as the creativity department, they did bring a lot of creativity though. They did bring that heat. All right, they brought a lot of creativity to their field show. The dance line did. All right, I can give them that. Now, as far as breakdown is concerned, they had the energy. They looked together. The problem is that they didn't give me another feature. Okay. Also, I feel like you know, tubas can be just a slightly better. You know. So that was just me though. I just feel like they could add a little bit more incentive on that as far as that is concerned. If the tubas was a tad bit cleaner on that, now I would usually take off in songs, but because it was just kind of like a tuba break, somewhat like that, I kind of just counted that towards the breakdown. And so, but yeah, I gave them a 3 on that. So, but definitely was not their strongest. But let's see what their grade looked like. They got a 26. A 26. So they missed the passing grade by 1 point from me. Okay, so no passing grade for me, but you know it is what it is on that one. Okay, so you made it this far in the video. Please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. We're moving on to Jackson State University. Oh man, so this is their last field show of the season. Okay, now I will just let y'all know, just because that their season is over with doesn't mean that I'm not going to grade more of Jackson State. I still got some battles I haven't even got a chance to tap into, with Jackson versus Alcorn, Jackson versus Mississippi Valley, and we got other band battles we got to too. So I'm not just grading just what you see currently. You know, once that Swag versus Meek challenge is over with, I'm going back in the archives of 2025 so I can update my status on my swag tier list. If y'all want to know what that looks like, please click on the link above. Okay, so that swag tier list is basically me highlighting, you know, their accolades. That's why I have those records underneath them in the beginning of the video, and at the end of the videos, because that's going into their ranking system in the tier list for me. Okay, so you know, you can agree to disagree, but that's just my opinion. Alright, so with that being said, we're gonna get into the action with Jackson State.
So without further ado, today's show theme is the winner's circle.
Alright, Jackson, so check that.
As we make our way onto the field, the standard of excellence is about to unfold. As the crescendo builds and excitement is approaching, SWAC Championship Band and Blue Nation, give it up for the Tiger Run-On! Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. The sonic boom of the South proudly enters the winner's circle. And now, PVU, this is your warning. It's the final countdown to your downfall. Fans, let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Takes the field. Prairie View, you have now officially entered the Eye of the Tiger.
Bring us back then.
Every step, every hit, every formation reminds you why JSU sits on the throne
That was doing good till that mess up right there.
So I'm gonna go over.
They gonna say that's sure how you really do
Take five, you better stop that. J6, go get you some.
well, there's some people sneaking in this arrangement though.
And now, the fabulous J6. The only thing Johnson State will be losing today is a little bit of love we still have from those Prairie View Panthers.
They're struggling on the side. they can put a little bit more energy and they can look a little
All
cleaner.
season long, every band stepped up and brought their best to the Sonic Boom, and each one got knocked out, one by one. Every challenger fell before the Sonic Boom. And now, the only band to see all its competitors. The band that continues to define the standard. Jackson State University, Sonic Boom of the South. It's time to move forward as we continue to claim our victory.
Victory.
All right, Tiger fans, you know what time it is. J A U. The Sonic Boom of the South is led by Dr. Roger Little, Director of Bands, Mr. Kevin Johnson, Associate Director of Bands and Chief Arranger, Mr. Travis Pruitt, Assistant Director of Bands, Dr. Justin Sherrod, Assistant Director of Bands and Director of Percussion, Miss Chloe Ashley Crowley, Director of the Plant Francine J. Miss Courtney Lett, administrative assistant. Academic leadership.
Alrighty, let's get that a grade. That was an entertaining field show, but it was some substance that need to be fixed. Alright, so entrances are 5. Songs, I'm going to give them a 3. Formations, I'm going to give them a 4. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 4. Breakdown, I'm going to give breakdown a 2. It could have been a 3. Creativity, I'm going to give them a 5. Alright. And so I'm going to explain all that in just a second, so y'all know. So I want to calculate that grade first. They got a 23. Alright, so let me give my grade, my fairness critique. Alright, so let's start with songs. When they did the Call Tyrone song, there was some people sneaking in that arrangement. I don't think people were kind of comfortable with that arrangement. Some people, is more so the upper low brass that was sneaking in. Not the tubers, but we're talking about like, trombones, etc. So there was some people kind of sneaking in on that. The annotations could have been a little bit better. When we came down to the dance feature, as far as the songs as well, there was some parts that was muddy as far as the runs. That could have been way better. Way better. Alright, formations. They were doing good, but they had one minor hiccup when somebody forgot where they was going, and I was able to spot that out. So, I gave them a 4. They almost had a 5 on that, but I gave them a 4 on that. Breakdown. They gave me one breakdown, and they gave me the JSU Rock the House. I kind of count that as far as they break down, but this is my issue with that. That first breakdown song, dance thing they did, it was okay, but it was a lack of energy, and it wasn't together, So I just feel like if it was together more and they had more energy that they put in it, that would be good. Minus JSU Rock the House. They put their energy in that, but I'm talking about that as concerned. Because if that was the case, they would have been at a 3. Alright, so they had a 2 on that. Creativity was a 5. There was a lot of parts up in there that gave them the creativity department. Okay? So, as far as field show is concerned, I have to give the field show victory to Fairview. Okay, that's just me, But Fairview was up in Howtown. They had that 3-point difference in Howtown. But let's calculate so we can see the updated version. Okay, so in 0 quarter, Jackson was up by 5 points. Right. All right. Now, in Fairview, in halftime, they made a significant push. It wasn't a passing grade. Both bands didn't have a good field show. They can work on a couple of things. Both bands can. But I feel like Fairview had the stronger field show over Jackson State. What I would say is that Fairview was up by 3 points in halftime, but they kind of lured that score by 2. So Jackson is still up by 2 points. Okay? Jackson is still up by 2 points. Okay? Instead of it being a 5-point lead, it's a 2-point lead. You get what I'm getting at? So that's apples or oranges, but Jackson still is ahead. Jackson is still ahead. Alright? So, with that being said, we're going to be moving on to 5th. But before we get to that, I would like to extend an invitation to becoming a member in the membership program. I'm not going to go too much in detail about it because I've been talking about it majority of this year. But click on that video above so I can explain it more. But you will get perks. You get a chance to look at past videos, etc. from the 90s on up. If I have any footage from the 80s to 70s, I would grade that as well if it's possible. I'll also be exclusively grading drumline footage on there as well. So if you're a percussionist and you're interested in looking at that type of stuff, please do. Please become a membership. Be part of the membership program. It's only $2 a month. And again, if you want more details about the perks that you get, please click on that video. Okay. Also, I have, if you want to donate to the channel, I have a thank you tab below. It kind of looks like this right here. You look at my mouse right here. So, you hit that thank you tab. So if you want to donate to the channel, please do. Means so much to me. All donations and proceeds will go to me affording YouTube Premium. Okay. I've noticed that, you know, I've been having some split editing issues here and there. You'd be like, why the band, you know, why you keep having the commercials? I want to let y'all know, the reason why I got those commercials in there is because I haven't got YouTube Premium yet. So, you know, of course I can edit it out, but that just destroys the reaction of me grading, you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. So, you know, it throws off my reaction, it throws off your reaction. So by all means, you know, if you want to, you understand that, you know, please donate, you know, if you want to do that, if you want to go that route, or you want to just go hit the, you know, be a part of the membership program. Again, that helps out tremendously, and welcome to the family if you do decide to donate or become a member. All right. But if you can't do that, your pockets are running low, all I'm asking you is for a like and subscribe. You know, again, I'm going to say that early in the beginning of the video, but I'm saying it to you now. Liking goes a long way. It helps boost the algorithm for people to see this content. So please do that. Also, if you know you haven't subscribed and you made it this far in the video, or you've been watching my other past videos, subscribe so you can see more content and hit that notification bell, because I grade all HBCU bands. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the action of fifth quarter. Okay. So fifth quarter is slightly different from zero quarter, and it's going to be less chaotic, but kind of has some similarities, okay? So look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. We're grading sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, and overall cleanness. Maximum points they can make altogether is 50, all right? The difference is that it's 5 more points. But what I will say also, there shouldn't be any zero spirit songs in there either. Okay, so I'm not expecting the band to up and play neck in the middle of fifth quarter. Now that's just crazy and diabolical. All right, so all thing I can say is that, you know, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this battle. Again, ladies and gentlemen, there's no favoritism, so please check your attitudes out the door. Okay. You know, again, if it sounds bad, it sounds bad. If it sounds good, it sounds good. But I'm here to bring you honesty. Okay? So, with that being said, let's get into the action. Pair views first. Alrighty, let's get that a grade. Alright, sound selection is a 10. Power, I'm gonna give them a 10. Articulation, I'm gonna give articulation a 9. Arrangements 10. Cleanness is a 9. Alright, so they got a 48 on that one. There was some parts in the band when they were not attacking together. I can tell that there was missing some parts. Also, tone quality, and when it comes down to cleanest department, tubas were kind of missing, so they were not attacking together as well. So there's just some parts that just need to be fine tuned. You know, you gotta attack together, sound clean, hit those tones right, take your time. You know, and really articulate your sound. You know, I think that's one thing that was kind of missing. Some minor annotation issues as well. So, moving on. 48. All right, Jackson, let's see what you got. Come on, high brass. Let's get at a grade. Alright, sound selection is 10, power is 10, articulation, and give them a 9. Arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give them an 8. Okay, so they got a 47 on that one. One thing I would say is that there was some attacking issues in there. There was some people skating in there, and you can hear it. Also, as far as the cleanest department, sometimes arrangement can be so complicated, it seems as if it's dragging. So that was kind of the situation in this as well. Also, you had high brass hanging over and missing. You know, that's one thing about when you're going to have your dedicated screamers, you got to make sure that you hit it in the pocket, because if you don't, it's going to sound like shit. So that's one of the things I would say as far as Jackson and that song is concerned. Wasn't they strongest? All right, moving on. But power was definitely there. Yeah. PV. Yeah. Come on, Tubas. Whew. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh man, that was nice. I like that song by PVAMU. They did that. They did that. Now they almost didn't get it. The tubas started almost falling off after, and I was like, "Come on, tubas, don't fuck it up." They're doing good. Just tubas got to make sure that y'all just don't fall off at the end. But they held it. They held it in. I'm okay with that. You know, that's the only amount of critique I would say, but it was still good. Still good. I enjoyed that. But just tubas, come on. Don't fuck it up. All right, moving on.
Let's make an
Jackson. Oh man. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh man, that was nice. I would say this, they had some minor hiccups in the beginning, just very minor though. You know, that's just me though. So one thing I also would add as well is that, you know, the sound is there. You know, they got that sound down pat. And, you know, I get that they lost, so you can tell you see some sad faces in that band, boy. You see some sad faces in that band right there, man. That's how you know the bands are very passionate about their football team and their football program right there. It's their faces says it all. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Their faces says it all. So, you know, they're not too happy about them losing the SWAC championships. okay? But they out there still getting it though. They still getting it. I ain't mad at them about that. Moving on. Okay. I ain't mad at that though. I ain't mad at that. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. And I gotta give it to you raw and uncut. Alright? It was almost a perfect, literally almost a perfect. I just feel like the high brass can be just a tad bit cleaner. High brass can be just a tad bit cleaner. They was doing good from the beginning. It was more so the little small runs the trumpet has to get out. They didn't get their phrases out like they needed to for me. So that was just me and my just little small issues as far as that is concerned. But I feel like, PVAMU, that was a solid song from PVAMU. They just need to work on the little small runs and that. Everything else was good. They played in the pocket. That's one thing I want to let y'all hear, that is that they're not outdoing it. They staying consistent with staying in the pocket. That's what sounds good when y'all play in the pocket. You don't have to yank. You don't. Just play in an ensemble. I prefer that anyway. Shows y'all musicianship. Jackson. Jackson, man. Whew, man. You know how arrangement is so crucial. You had to sit back and just admire what just happened. That's one of those moments. All right, almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. Okay, there was some parts that were just a tad bit muddy in the beginning. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. But also, I gotta give my a little opinion. That'd be something I'll pull out. Not so much how the arrangement, the structure for that. I'll probably give it to somebody else as far as that song. But it still was good. I enjoyed it though. But definitely something on my hidden list though. I ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at it. Almost a perfect. Moving on.
Follow these easy
Alrighty. That was nice. That was nice. You gotta give that to him. Sound selection's 10, power's 10, articulation's 10, arrangement's 10, cleanness is a 10. I'm giving him a perfect on that one. I will say this though. There was some parts that can be just minor fixed. Like that crescendo at the end. You get what I'm saying? There's some other parts out there too. I think that they're gonna play one more thing too, but I kind of caught it right at that moment. But yeah, but definitely was good. Definitely good arrangement. They played in the pocket. That's what I was trying to tell people. It's like you play in the pocket, it sounds good. That was nice. That was nice. All right, let's go, Jackson. Jackson. Whew. Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson. Whew. Oh man. Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Oh dear God. Alright, I'm gonna say this too. Everything was good about it. The only thing I will say is that high brass, you gotta make sure that you don't hang over. Gotta make sure that you don't hang over. I don't care if you're a screamer, you still gotta play in the pocket. They did it twice. You know. So just rectify that. Rectify that in the future. Alright. That was crucial. Moving on. Last round. This is their last round. It's pretty. Was not expecting that response. Okay, PV. Okay, PV. That was nice. Let me see if I can get. There you go. Get that better view.
The baby audio black Friday.
Roll with it. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Not gonna lie to you on that one. That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. That's all I gotta say. Wasn't expecting that. That was pretty good from PV. That was decent. That was real decent. Alright. Wasn't expecting the beginning. The beginning threw me off. I was like, oh man, I hope that ain't just gonna give me something slow. But then they kicked it up. Yeah, that was dope. Alright, moving on. Jackson's gonna close us out, ladies and gentlemen. Because I think they're gonna be leaving out. That was their last one. Jackson. Cut up, Blue Wings. Jackson. Oh my gosh. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh my gosh, that was crazy. That was crazy. Damn. Damn. That was crazy. Oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy. Wow. Wow. Yeah. That arrangement was divine. My goodness. That's the secret sauce right there. My goodness. Yo. Oh my goodness. That's something in the archives. They should have been pulled out this battle. They should have been pulled that bitch out. But damn, that was crucial. I feel like that should have been their first song. Oh man. That was wild. That was wild. Moving on. Close this out, boom. Last song for their season. Make it good.
At first,
How's it going, gentlemen?
Jackson. Jackson. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Whew. Jackson. They don't want Super Saiyan, man. They don't want Super Saiyan. That was crucial. That was crucial. Jackson State, ladies and gentlemen. That's a way to end the season right there. That's a way to end the season. Alright. So, who won this battle? Alright. I'm going to say this too also for those who like to get in their feelings. I want to let y'all know this. I don't care. I don't care. And if you skipped all the way ahead to see who won, shame on you. Watch the video. And better yet, if you skipped all ahead just to see if your band won, hit that like and subscribe button too. Just saying. Alright? So, you know, we got to get what credit is due. You know, hey, this was an interesting battle. This was an interesting battle between both bands. Okay? I didn't expect nothing less, and I didn't expect nothing more either. It was all pretty much what I predicted. Alright? So when we look at zero quarter, we're going to give it the standings, and then, you know, we're going to come to the winner. Okay? So, when it comes down to zero quarter, Jackson was up by 5 points. So Jackson, technically speaking, won zero quarter. Alright, that was up by 5 points. Alright. Now when we come down to halftime, okay? Halftime hit a little different. They end up, Fairview was actually stronger than Jackson. So Fairview actually won halftime. Okay? So that 5-point lead ended up becoming a 2-point lead. Alright? When we get down to fifth, it was very interesting to see both bands, okay? Now, I know some people might kill me in the comments about this, but, you know, I feel like Fairview was actually stronger than Jackson State on their first song. Everything else was even, but only on their first song. But it was a 1-point difference in the fifth quarter. So I had to give that edge to Fairview. But who won the battle overall? I have to give that battle to Jackson State. It was a 1-point difference, ladies and gentlemen. 1-point difference. Overall grade. We're not talking about just who won this. Jackson State won. They had an overall stronger grade than Fairview. Okay? Fairview actually made this battle very close. Okay? Believe it or not, they made it very close. So, I would like to say that. Right?
Victory!
So, Jackson State won this battle. Okay? Now, I got to give credit where credit is due, and I'm going to give my critiques. Okay? So, Jackson State did their thing. They did. You know, they handled business in their book. You know, my criticism for them is more so is they got to make sure that they don't hang over with their high brass. Make sure y'all stay together in y'all arrangements. Make sure y'all don't get out tempo. Okay? That's all I got to say. You know, everything else, they was pretty much knocking it out the park. As far as halftime is concerned, definitely need some work in halftime. So, you know, feel like the songs could be stronger in halftime. I feel like, you know, they had one minor hiccup. So make sure that your bandsmen know y'all field show. Dancers did pretty decent. You know, I just feel like they had one little minor hiccup. You know, breakdown, I just feel like they just needed more energy and make sure it looks clean. So I feel like they got to work on halftime a little bit more than they book. And hopefully they can fix that, you know, upcoming season. Okay? But had a great season overall. But I'm going to tell y'all this won't be the last time y'all hear from me. I will be grading the rest of y'all battles this year. Okay? So be looking out for that, you know, because remember, this is going to the SWAC tier list. All right? So now we're going to give criticism and fair accolades to Fairview. Fairview actually won halftime, and they actually won fifth in my book. Okay, believe it or not, by 1 point in fifth. Okay, but you know, I still have some criticism for them. For their book, they're gonna have to really work on articulating. They got to really work on attacking together. Tubas. I promise you, y'all got to get that together. y'all gotta have to get that shit together. That's all I gotta say. You know, y'all gonna have to make sure y'all stay within the ensemble. Don't outdo your pocket. Also, upper lower brass, make sure y'all don't outdo y'all pocket as well. Play together. Play together. That means so much. I would say in the fifth, I actually did not worry about playing more power tunes. Y'all played more control tunes, and you can hear the difference. It's a difference, man. A humongous difference. So, pair of you, make it happen. Play more on y'all ensemble, and I think y'all do good. Okay? One thing I would say as far as they halftime, usually they give me stronger halftimes than that. I will say that. But, you know, one thing I would add for them is that I would want them to really work on their breakdown. Their breakdown needs to be a little bit more better as far as giving me another feature. Just give me another feature. Everything else looked clean. They had the energy. They just needed one more feature. Dancers, I feel like the dancers could have been way better. I mean, you know, hey, I'm not no dance connoisseur again. I think that's on a dance coach on that one. But you get what I'm saying. I just feel like that could have been better. They could have carried their grade and then some. And they probably would have won this battle, to be honest with you. Halftime would have really helped them win this battle. Overall grade, to be honest with you. So, but Jackson was just slightly stronger by 1 point. So, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's my verdict. Before I go, I would like to extend the invitation again and let y'all understand. I want to say thank you to my channel member. Thank you so much for being part of this family. Means so much to me. You really mean a lot to me, you know, and for future membership members to come. Okay, so I really appreciate y'all. If y'all want to be a part of that, please consider being that. It's only $2 a month. Again, it's only $2 a month. If you want more, please look in the description to see what I was talking about as far as the membership program. Okay, so I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Jackson won this one. Deuces.